perfect. Thank you. Joe, go ahead and throw up slide number 2, that verse. Do I have a volunteer to read this verse for me out loud? Volunteer out loud. Riley, go read it. I saw that hand. You won't? Okay, read it. You'll read it? All right, go ahead and read that verse for us. Yes, up there. All that.
2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their
toil.
For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone he falls, and has not another to lift him up. Again, if 2 are together, they keep warm. But how can one keep them alone? And though a man might rebel against one who is alone, 2 will withstand him. A threefold cord is not easily broken.
Thank you. Give Rita a round of applause. I was trying to read that today. I really can't. Also, reading. So tonight's message, I'm simply talking about friends. So hit the next slide, Cypher. Perfect. Friends for life. I felt this message was vital, important. Full attention, please, if I can, real quick. I felt that this message was vital as we go into this next year, and we're getting older. Maybe some of you are going to high school next year, and maybe, who knows, or you're already in high school, I don't know. But your friends are very important to where you're at in life. So that verse in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 through 12, there's this guy named King Solomon. Everyone say King Solomon.
King Solomon.
So obviously he's a king, right? That's kind of in his name. So no, he's a king. So this verse he wrote at the end of his life. And he's saying, hey, life without other people, life without working with other people, it's kind of meaningless, right? We have to work with other people. We have to be with other people. That's how we're going to get through this life. He came to realize in this verse, this king is writing at the end of his life, he came to realize that a life lived alone is meaningless. Now, who likes to be alone? Anybody you just love being alone? You do? Why?
Because people are really annoying.
People are annoying. I work at McDonald's, and don't tell your parents I said this, people are the worst. I'm kidding. I love people. I'm totally joking. Customers at McDonald's, they're a lot. I'll tell you that much right now. Who else? Who likes to be alone? Christian, you like to be alone? You like to be, why? Why alone?
I don't know.
You don't know. You just do. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. Why? Okay. Who does not like to be alone? Who likes to be like life of the party? You have to be out doing something. Chase, why?
Because I have to make enemies.
What? Are you a dictator? We can make enemies. This isn't a whole war. What are you talking about? Oh, God, I'm going to talk about later. Logan, why? You just do? You like being interactive. Who likes to be the center of attention? Just be honest. Anyone like to be? I know you do. You just go to the enemies. I know you do. This guy, I gotta call his parasite because he's gonna hurt somebody. That's all right. Well, if you couldn't tell, I probably, yeah. I think you're more of an introvert, right? A little bit. Joe, what about you? I'm not sure about you.
Depends on the day.
Depends on how you wake up. So I am naturally an extrovert, right? I like to be out and about doing stuff. I kind of like to have the. Okay, thanks. I like to have the focus on me a little bit. That's part of it's a bad thing I'm trying to work on as a pastor, but I like to be center of attention. I'll be honest with you, right? It's kind of fun when people are looking at you and they're talking about you. It's kind of fun. That's just kind of my thing, right? So for me, being with people and like going out, going to Chili's, or maybe we're going to Top Golf, or I just went to Johnson Griddle Pizza last week with like 3 other of my 20-year-old friends. Like we're the only 20-year-olds there, bunch of 9-year-olds. I kicked some 9-year-old off who's playing Dylan. I was like, get out of here. I got 5 tokens. I lost. No, but I love being with people. I love being around people, and it fuels me. It gives me energy, and I just love so much. How many of you know what MySpace is, or heard of MySpace? Anybody? Wow, nobody? Are you being serious or just lying to me?
Isn't it like the old version of Facebook?
Wow, he knows. Give Jason a round of applause. He knows.
I have teachers.
Right.
They're old.
You teachers are very old. So way before TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and a feed and Parler and all these other social media is there was this thing called MySpace. And Joe, Jesse, you might remember, we were a little too young to have it, but we were on the back end of it, right? We were on the back end of it. So there was this thing on MySpace called my top 5, I think, or top 3. And what this was is, on your profile, you could have your top 5 or top 3 friends on your profile that everyone could see. Right? You know, these top 5 friends or top 3 friends. And at the time, from what I remember, what I've been told, because I wasn't old enough to have it, is this was a big thing, right? Like, if making someone's top 5, man, dude, that's awesome. Like, you're killing it, like, you're famous. Right? That was the big thing. Currently, I have, what, James?
I thought that was just when you had more followers.
Back then it was different.
Yeah, back then.
Well, yeah. So currently, not to brag, not to flex, you know, currently I have 568 friends on Facebook. Right, this is my own stats. I have 568 friends on Facebook, and I have 623 followers on Instagram. Yes, it's not that great. Now, maybe for like on Facebook and Instagram, probably 5 to 10 of those friends I talk to and I'm really connected with. Like 5 to 10. The other 558 are like I've never seen, never talked to. I like their stuff because I saw them one time in high school. Right? And out of those 5 to 10 friends that I talk to and I'm connected with, probably 2 or 3, if not 1 or 2, are my really, really close friends. Right? They're my people who I'm always talking to, I'm connected with, they're helping me, they're challenging me. There was a study that just came out that said majority of adults has anywhere between 2 and 5 close friends. So about 62% of adults have 2 to 5 close friends. But 1 in 5 regularly or often feels lonely. And I found it kind of interesting. See, study after study coming out has shown that we have the chance to be the most connected generation of all time. Right? 60 years ago, they didn't have phones, they didn't have video games and stuff. We could literally connect with people in a second. Back when I used to play video games, I met this guy named Chris, and he lived in Virginia. And we became really good friends off Call of Duty. Like, who would have thought? Right? 40 years ago, that was not a thing. Right, but study after study is coming out with that we are becoming the most disconnected generation of all time. Isn't that kind of ironic? That we have phones and social media and YouTube and everything to make us connected and be around more people. Yet our generation, my generation, your guys' generation, is listed as one of the most disconnected generations of all time. See, these platforms that we use, they were created to connect us and bring new life and help us reach people we never thought we could reach, but it's actually drawing us away from people. It's kind of ironic. Right? That's why throughout this pandemic, you've probably heard myself or Pastor Dominic, or if you're there on Sundays, Pastor C, saying it is so important that you're connected with people. Right? It is so important that you're physically connected with somebody that you can talk to and see and hang out with, because that's where you draw a real connection. Proverbs 27:17 says this: iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. But if we are never around another person, or iron, how do we expect to get sharp? You know what I mean? Right? We're dull if we're never around other people who are going to challenge us. Right? Iron has to hit friction with iron to get sharp. So if we're never around other people, we're not getting sharp. I wish I could tell you that every person you'll ever meet, or every person at your school, or in your family is going to be your best friend. Right? That would be great, but that's simply not true. Right? Unfortunately, we can't be friends with everybody. I tried, it doesn't work. Right? It's good for about a month, and then you're like, man, these people suck. Like, I actually don't want to be friends with them. They're kind of annoying. Even now, I have friends that text me, it's like, hey, let's hang out. I'm like, hey, you're a friend, but I dread going to your house. Yeah, it sounds really bad, but you can't be friends with everybody. I know it sounds really bad. You can be friendly with everybody. You should be nice and kind, and you should show Jesus, but you cannot be best friends with everybody. Having friends, especially if they follow Christ, is a sure way for us to grow in our relationship with God. See, friendship is not built on convenience, but built on a commitment. Right? I think that's pretty good. We can tweet that up on the Instagram page. That's really good. Friendship is not built on convenience, but built on a commitment. Right? It would suck if all your friends were friends with you because it was convenient for them. Like, oh yeah, I got nothing going on, so yeah, sure, I'll be your friend, why not? I got nothing better to do. Right? If they're friends with you because it's convenient, because it fits into their schedule, they're not really your friend, because if something better comes up or something happens, they're getting at it, they're skirting. Sorry, bye. But our friendship is built on a commitment that I will be friends with you, and I'll be friendly with you, and I'll show Jesus to you, because that's what we're commanded to do. Joe, go ahead and go to the next slide, slide number 5. I have three things about friendship and about friends that I want to share with you guys. The first one is this. It says, good friends attract good friends. Right. Who's heard of the phrase, opposites attract? Ever? Opposites attract. Isn't that kind of a weird phrase? Opposites attract. I'm not really sure where it came from, whatever, but when you think of the people you're around, usually they're similar to you. Right? And studies show that we're more likely to be friends with people who have the same interest and are sort of similar to us in lots of ways. Right? We even have a desire to be around people who are like us. Right? It would be kind of interesting if your friend had nothing to do with how you live your life. If you had completely different lives, nothing was the same. It would be interesting, but it might be kind of hard. See, no one wants to be around someone who is always mad and complaining or sad all the time. If you're a good friend that is caring and honest and hardworking and loves God, then you will attract similar people to you. Right? If your friends are always complaining and yelling and mad and sad and depressed, that might be an indication of as to what you're attracting. Right? But if you always see that your friends are happy and they're caring and they love God and they read their Bible, that's also an indication of what you're attracting. So the first one is good friends attract good friends. The second thing I have is good friends build each other up. Good friends build each other up. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11 says this. Therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. See, good friends, what they don't do is good friends don't gossip about you. Ooh, I'm sure we've all experienced that, right? That's not fun. Good friends don't lie to you. Good friends don't intentionally hurt you to your face or your back. And good friends don't walk away when life gets tough. Friends should always be helping build you up, and vice versa. You should always be helping build your friends up. Not tearing them down or calling them dumb or calling them all these names, but if we're going to be friendly in who God has called us to be, we have to build each other up. It goes both ways. We can't just expect people to build us up if we're not building them. The third one, Joe, throw it up there real quick. The third thing I have is good friends push you closer to God, not pull you away from Him. Good friends push you closer to God, not pull you away from Him. 1 Corinthians chapter 15:33 says, do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. You see, the people who you keep closest to you, the friends who you have in your circle and you talk to every day, those are the people that are going to influence you the most. Those are the people that will have the most to say in your life. Those are the people who will influence you to do good decisions or bad decisions. Our old youth pastor, Pastor Vass, some of you know who he is, and some of you have no clue who I'm talking about. That's totally fine. He used to say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You remember that? Yeah. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Right? If you were up here and you had your 4 closest friends lined up next to you, and they just started talking and kind of just started being themselves, I could probably tell you where you'll be up in the next 5 to 10 years, just based on how they talk. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. The friends that you keep closest should be helping you become a better Christian. And I think after tonight, I'm not saying we should abandon all the friends we know and only have one friend. But I think it'd be good if we did some reflection and looked at the people that we surround ourselves with. Right? Are they actually good people? And if they are, fantastic. But if they're not, it's always good to step back and say, hey, are these people that I'm surrounding myself with, are they actually pushing me closer to who God has called me to be? See, we as Christians have a responsibility to draw closer to God and not act in a way that would make other people fall away from God. We as well should be pushing people closer to God at every chance we get. Whether they're our best friend, whether they're total strangers. We should be connecting people to God and backing out of the equation. It is important that we do as much as we can to point people toward Jesus. So on the tables, there's 10 pages, there's 10 pens. I hope there's enough. I'm not sure how many there are in here. If there's 30, that's fine. But there's 10 pages, there's 10 pens. And on those pages, there's a 12-question, quiz, for lack of a better term. It's not really a quiz, I'm not grading it, okay? But there's 12 questions, and you have to answer yes on them or no on them, based on the question. And so I'm going to send you guys back to your tables, back to your groups right now. Go ahead and do that, and then once you kind of finish, I'll explain what we do from there. Oh, really? Explain. So just grab a pen, grab a chair, grab a pen, grab a page, and don't talk a whole lot, just begin to work on it. Don't talk a whole lot. Keep it a little bit quiet.